4 drivers that are racing for $100,000. These are 2 out of the 4. A lot of money on the line tonight.
Yeah, I'm ready to go get it.
Does that give you guys some extra incentive?
I'd say so, yeah. I got to somehow figure out a way to beat this guy. I think it's probably going to be the hardest ones out of us 4 to beat, so.
Yeah, I mean, when you show up to the racetrack, you show up to win every single week, right? So if it's not your day and you're not winning the race, then you got to figure out how to beat the other 3 guys that were racing for this Dash for Cash.
That's right. So $100,000 on the line. If you were to take it home tonight, do you have any plans to do? What are you going to do with the money?
A lot of it's going to go back to the team. For me, team guys work really hard. A lot of late hours. Road crew are away from their families quite a bit, so. Give some back to them, and who knows, Aspen's been wanting a pony here recently, so that might be the next purchase.
That would be awesome. That would be the best gift ever for a little girl, is a pony.
It would, for sure.
What about you, Chandler?
Yeah, just like John Hunter, a lot of ours will go back to the team. You know, them guys have been busting their tails here recently. That's why we've been having fast cars showing up to the racetracks, all of the work that they've been putting in at the shop. So a little extra credit definitely is deserved there, so I'm going to go tonight and try to get that for them.
That's awesome. Let's talk about last week, and I know John probably doesn't want to talk about it, but I know there towards the end, that last restart, you guys were battling it out. Chandler, you got your first Xfinity win last weekend at Richmond Raceway 2 weekends ago.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. I actually texted John Hunter after the race, and I really appreciate him racing me clean and whatnot. I feel like we're in a day of age where we go and podcast and hear these guys talk about how bad, you know, the racing is. There's no respect and whatnot. And I feel like we showcased, and John Hunter himself showcased how much of a class talent he is, the class act he is for racing me clean. So it was just another Saturday. It wasn't a Saturday night race, but a Saturday afternoon short track race, and hope the fans enjoyed it.
Yeah, how did you celebrate after that?
I went and got an IV and got ready for the cup race. I didn't stop. People that heard my interviews, after that I went to a horrible hibachi place. It wasn't much of a celebration, to be honest with you. That place was horrible. But
they had an IV?
Yeah, I got an IV right after.
Fall out of the seat?
No,
or what?
I just didn't want to repeat what happened to me at Homestead last year.
He had to hydrate for sure. Well, we're here, Martinsville Speedway, short track race, and this place is a great place to watch the race, right? A lot of beating and banging. It's a night race under the lights. Tell everybody from your perspective what you enjoy about this track, and also what makes it so challenging out there.
This place is a lot of fun. This is my first time here in an Xfinity car, and I think Chandler's as well. But I've had a ton of laps around here in both the Truck Series and the Cup Series, and each vehicle is unique to itself around this place. You fight the same things handling wise, but you have to get there a different way. But night race, this will be, I guess, my second night race here underneath the lights in Martinsville. And when they brought the idea back a few years ago, I was like, yes, let's do it. Who doesn't like seeing brake rotors glow and guys beating each other up towards the end of the race, trying to get positions, pushing and shoving, and it's good old classic short track racing. Hopefully a lot of guys have respect for each other tonight, and we don't tear a bunch of stuff up. And but I'm sure that you will see some beating and banging going on for positions, and hopefully we can be the one that takes the cherry flag the last lap.
Yeah, that's
Chandler
expected.
does want to hear that.
I know, right? Watch out for Chandler. What about you? Like you said, you're making your Xfinity Series debut. You've raced trucks here before, but that's going to be a big night, right? Your first Xfinity race here tonight?
Yeah, no, for sure. For myself, I haven't had that much great success here in the past, even in a truck. I got a top 5 and finished like 6th last year maybe, or something like that, but I've never really been great at Martinsville. I've only been here twice, so I think a lot of that has to do with just I'm not really good at road courses, and this place drives pretty close to a road course with like your brake trace and stuff of that sort. So yeah, no, I'm really happy to be racing under the lights here in Virginia, and hopefully can give these guys a good show tonight.
That's right. I think John said he loved it. You said you love this place, huh?
I do. It's a good place to come to. I have one clock, so need another.
Where do you have this clock?
Well, Taylor won't let me put it in the house, so it's not in the house. We'll put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, if I had it in the house, she probably wouldn't let me wind it to hear it all day. So.
Right. Especially with a little kid, right?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
You got a little kid, you got a clock going, it gets a little crazy in there. But I know you've done trucks here, you've run Cup here. But I want to know too, from Chandler's perspective, running full-time trucks, and then now over to the Xfinity Series. It's a completely different vehicle, really. How are you enjoying the Xfinity Series?
I'm loving it. I feel like you actually got to drive these race cars, where a truck, it's so aero dependent, it's so dependent on how trimmed out, how much side force, downforce your vehicle or your truck has built into it. Where these, like, we go to Las Vegas, I mean, aero matters and all, but you gotta have a good handling race car. The races and the stages are so long to where it gets to a point where mechanical grip overrides all the aero stuff that you have. Aero kind of helps with that at that point of the run, but mechanical definitely overrules that. You don't really get that in trucks because the stages are so short, the races are so short, and the horsepower and whatnot, it's just completely different. So these cars definitely fit my driving style a lot better than before.
Yeah, you've been picking it up really quickly. Let's talk about the family side of things, right? You have a daughter, you have a child, you just announced you're having another girl. Are you ready to be a complete girl dad?
Yeah, why not? Girl dads rule, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was really cool being able to find out the gender this past week. We waited like 10 weeks after we got the results, which
How
was
can you
pretty
do that?
hard. It was hard. Very, very hard, but it was
Who
definitely...
had it, though? I want to know who had the envelope that said what it was going to be.
So Taylor's mom had the envelope.
Okay.
She's the one that kind of planned the whole get-together party or whatever, and I'm surprised that she kept it a secret that long, or didn't accidentally spit it out at one point when we were talking. So it's really cool. I'm looking forward to having another girl. Aspen has definitely been a huge blessing to our lives, but more or less just it's been awesome being a girl dad. I mean, I'm pretty sure that she's had me wrapped around her finger ever since she was born. So now to have two, Chandler told me I better win some more races, so watch out.
That's right, yeah, you gotta get those ponies. But I wanna know how it's like being on the road, right? I see you with your families out there each and every weekend, and I see Aspen walking around on the grid and stuff. It's so cool. But how do you juggle it all, right? Because you're there, you're working, you're trying to stay focused, you know, how do you juggle it all?
It's definitely a balance that I'm personally still trying to figure out. I don't know about John Hunter, but I'm still trying to figure it out for myself. Work and trying to be a dad and a family man and also a husband to my wife and whatnot. Like, you got to figure out how to balance all those things, because where you're located, like we're in the central of Race City, like Mooresville's where I live. You can never really get away from that atmosphere. You're always thinking racing, you're always talking about racing. Wherever you go, there's racing. So it's hard to find that balance, but I think it comes with a lot of experience as well, just getting the reps in. Like, I feel like I've gotten a lot better since the day he was born. But it's like he's on his like 20-something flight already, and he's only 8 months old. Like,
well traveled.
Yeah, like by the time I was 10, I think I finally flew 2 times.
Yeah.
So like, it's crazy, and how fast the babies develop while they are out on the road and stuff, because of all the exposure they get, all the flying, all the people they see, everything that they go through. It's like the development stage heightens and it goes faster and amplifies, and like your average that doesn't get to experience all those things. So it's all been really neat to kind of see that transition, but it's definitely it's a hustle to say the least.
Yeah.
It's a hustle on the whole family, even my wife and him. Like, they get exhausted from all the travel. We went out for the West Coast swing, they came with me, and it was hard on the whole family for a little bit there. We stayed out there too.
Well, it's good too to have that support system there, right? You know, because it's not like they're missing out and you're missing out seeing them grow up. They're at the racetrack.
Yeah, it's definitely neat, especially being able to have Aspen grow up at the racetrack like I did. So she went to the racetrack 2 weeks old. I was 2 weeks old when I first went to the racetrack, so pretty much have grown up to the same. She's at MRO right now playing. I grew up at MRO. Like, it's crazy how it's come full circle.
Yeah.
So it's really neat being able to have kids and families and everyone travel with us, be able to experience coming out here and enjoying the ride with us, or the journey with us. It does get difficult at times, on trying to balance things and being gone a lot. They travel with me some, not every weekend. Taylor and Aspen are into ponies right now, so they're at horse shows and whatnot if they're not at the racetrack. So normally we're flying all over the place, so that makes it a little bit more difficult. But during the week, it's racing, and then there comes a time of the day when you're focused on family and having fun with Aspen.
Yeah, life is all about balance, and you were talking about how your life has kind of come full circle. You grew up at the racetrack and watching your dad, and I want to know too, how much of an influence is he on your career and your life now? And is he at the track? I haven't seen him as much recently.
Yeah, he doesn't come out very much. He's kind of doing his own deal.
Yeah.
Still playing with race cars, doing some vintage stuff and hanging out. But he's had a huge influence on myself and my career. Just growing up in it, being underneath him, going to the racetrack with him, always having a headset on, listening, learning about race cars, being hands-on, wrenching on them. He made me do a little bit of everything growing up, which I'm very thankful for, and helped me understand a lot more of the business side and everything that goes into it team-wise from a very young age. So definitely have been very grateful for that. He doesn't come out much anymore, but he's always watching, listening, and always texting me if I mess up. Why do you do that? So
He's still doing the dad role.
He is. Dad, boss, mentor, whatever you want to call it, all in one.
I love it. Such a nice guy. Well, I know you guys have a busy day, but real quickly before you go, let's get to know you guys a little bit better. I'm going to do a quick 10 with you guys. If you're walking around the Midway, come on inside the NASCAR experience. We have Chandler Smith and John Hunter Nemechek up on stage right now. Okay, I want to know, what's your favorite day or night race?
Day.
Day? What about you?
Day.
Day race, okay. Favorite track? If there's one that you just circle, you know you're going to be the best at.
I'd say Richmond.
The one that we're at, or the next one that we're going to?
There you go, okay. Favorite sport other than racing? Is there one?
Yeah. Football, lacrosse, golf, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, what about you?
I don't really have one, to be quite honest with you. I don't watch TV that much either.
Strictly racing, okay. Okay, if you weren't racing though, what do you think you'd be doing?
I'd be an engineer of some sort. Don't know what exactly I'd be doing, but that's definitely my background.
Engineer side? What about you? If you weren't racing, what do you think you'd be doing?
Yeah, it would either be having to do with something with my father's business. He's a construction, he owns a construction business, or I'd be doing something with engineering as well.
Okay, nice. Are you binge watching anything on TV right now?
No.
Nothing.
I am. I forget what the show's called.
He's like,
My wife
honey,
would know,
what show
but
are we watching?
She ain't even
She's
paying
over there
attention over
talking.
Yeah, she's expecting. She ain't got a
Is
name.
it on Netflix or is
Yeah,
it
it's on Netflix. I don't remember what
It's okay. We'll ask her later. Okay. Sweet or salty?
Salty.
I might say salty.
Salty. Okay.
There's some benefit out of salty. Like you get sodium and stuff. Maybe too much.
Look
But
at
sweet,
you,
don't get
yeah.
anything out of sweet but a bunch of sugar.
I like to mix mine. I like the sweet and the salty together. I just had to, I had to answer that question too. Okay, last question. What's the craziest thing you guys have ever autographed?
A baby bump.
What?
Baby bump.
No, you did not.
Yeah, I was at the Rattler 250 one year, and I was about 13 years old, and a woman comes up to me and lifts up her shirt and says, "Can you sign my bump?"
I'm pretty sure I was
No
there.
way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a true story.
You witnessed this.
A baby's foot, same place. I don't know. There's been a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We greatly appreciate it. Race fans, put your hands together for Chandler Smith and
Thank you.
John
Thank you guys for coming out.
Good luck tonight.